welcome back. Welcome back, replay viewers. Welcome back, live viewers. I am inside now. Good morning. I'm inside the Discovery Center in the snake exhibit area. We just did a previous scope. We were outside. Hey, Ann. Hope you're not afraid of snakes, Ann. I'll back up if you are. He is behind a glass enclosure. This is a relatively small, yikes is right, small exhibit. I'm not going to show you all of the snakes. I want to point out some of the Florida snakes, the ones that are native to Florida, which we're looking at right now. This is the eastern diamondback rattlesnake. Very, very venomous. Largest venomous snake in North America. Feeds primarily on small mammals. What's common throughout its range, and now the species is in decline. Sort of okay. Yeah, trust me, it's glass. And they're wonderfully cared for here at this facility at the Discovery Center here in DeLand. We've been reading a lot of that on some of the placards out on the nature trail that the species are in decline, which is a sad fact. This is another rattlesnake, but this one is not native to Florida. This is the western diamondback rattlesnake, which obviously would be... Oh, is it? Yeah, I was having trouble getting a signal when I first got here, so let me... Okay, right here, can you see this? This is the coral snake. This is a very venomous snake. Hey, good morning, Tamara, how are you? The eastern coral snake, definitely... wow, this one's a long one. They can get up to about 2 feet in length, and has the most toxic venom of any North American snake, and it can be recognized by the red to yellow, kill a fellow. In other words, see how the stripes, the yellow are next to the black? I think there's another rhyme about yellow to red, you're dead. This one reads, the rhyme reads, red to yellow, kill a fellow. So they are very, very poisonous. Oh, that's good. We do have rattlesnakes and coral snakes that live in residential areas. So tell me if the signal's going in and out. I had to wait a good 5 minutes to get a good signal. This one's going to be really cool. This is the Gila monster. The Gila monster. Oh, look, he came out. I couldn't get him earlier. He's not native to Florida, definitely, but I thought he was pretty cool. Yeah, red and black snake means run. But the coral snake actually can't move that fast. Rattlesnakes, on the other hand, they can, and they can strike from quite a distance. This lizard is close relative to the beaded lizard, and the world's only 2 venomous lizards. So this is a venomous lizard. Did not know that. Almost never fatal. There is no anti-venom. And Gila monster bites are extremely painful. Okay. So I'm very glad he's behind glass. And I'll show you the pygmy rattler, because I believe he is native. He is native to Florida. He's unmistakable. Good morning. Accounts for the majority of venomous snake bites in Florida, right here. Due to its small size and low venom yield, pygmy bites are almost never fatal. He's really tiny, but he packs a mean bite. And this is the canebrake timber rattler, rattlesnake. He is pretty. He is pretty. I was just going to point out, not all of them, because it would take a little bit of your time to do that. South Pacific rattle, the Mojave, he's all curled up here in the corner. And these are not native. These are snakes that are not native to Florida or even the Southeast for that matter. This is South Pacific over here. We have a viper. Oh my God. Oh my God. Sharp-nosed viper. This one, okay, get ready, Anne, get ready. I'm not even, oh my God. There's the albino reticulated python. Let me go up here. He wants attention right here. Look at this. Can you see him? There might be a little bit of glare. There he comes. It's right here at the glass. This is the albino reticulated python, and he is not native to Florida. Not sure where he is. Let me look at the thing. Often found around water. It doesn't say. Oh, Asia and Indonesia. And I should point out, and this is the, okay, wait, where's the king cobra? Is this the king cobra? Yeah, he's very, very awake. Look at that. He's getting all tangled up in the in the straw. Oh, he's a big one. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Okay, he's got 2 enclosures. So that's, we just saw his head up there. He goes all around there and into the next enclosure, all the way here to his tail. He is big. So that's the king cobra we just looked at, who was very energetic looking out the window. And this is the albino reticulated python. He's a beauty. And he's looking right at us, but he's not moving. The king cobra is the world's largest venomous snake. Can grow up to 18 feet. Feeds primarily on other snakes and sometimes lizards. It has a very toxic venom, and it lives in India, Southeast Asia, and the Philippines. That was the one up here, the king cobra. I can't really read the albino. Let me hold the camera there. Yeah, that was the one throughout Asia and Indonesia as well. So, fortunately, not native to Florida. And there was another one over here that was kind of interesting. He was moving around. This is called the boom slang. He's kind of wrapped around this branch. And for those of you who didn't watch the earlier scope, I was outside on the nature trail. There were mostly lizards and alligators and tortoises out there. We saw several box. Isn't he pretty? Box turtles, which are native to Florida. The Discovery Center, they sort of consider themselves a rehab. They're not a rescue where they, rescue and release or adopt out. They rescue and rehabilitate, and then these animals are here permanently. And they're very well cared for. And we did the boom slang. Where was the one that was moving around when I first came in? Oh, I'm sorry about that. Here's the green mamba. Can you see this? Look, he's all wrapped around. There's his head. He's on the back wall. I was having trouble with the signal when I came inside. I had no problem outside. And this is the gaboon viper. He was the one moving around. Look at his pattern, and look how big he is. Wow. I'll let you look right there. African viper. He's indigenous to West Central Africa and small sections of East Africa. Down here is the black mamba. Also not native to Florida. Get a good look right there. Very inquisitive. No, I do not like snakes. I'm sorry if this is making people uncomfortable. I just think this is a fascinating place, and there are people who do. I'm very happy that there's glass between me and these snakes. There's his tail right here. Africa's largest venomous snake. He is thin. Welcome. Feeds primarily on small mammals and ground-dwelling birds, and fortunately they reside in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, I'm going to take you outside so I can explain this facility, and we have a better signal. And if you want to see the gators and the lizards that we scoped earlier out on the trail, please watch the replay. Excuse me, can I ask you a question? His name, I forgot his name.
I think they call her Sanji.
Sanji? Okay, this is Sanji. Hope the signal's better. I'm up in the office here getting ready to go out the front door. This is a bearded dragon. right here. Isn't he cute? He was really frisky when I first came in and very curious. The bearded dragons belong to the family Agamediae, I can't pronounce that, which includes other lizards such as the water dragons. If you've ever watched David Osaka, I think he scopes the water dragons when he was over in Thailand. I think that's what they were. They're arid-dwelling, sun-loving, heat-seeking, omnivorous creatures. They can live for 10 to 12 years in captivity and have a very gentle disposition. That's good to hear. Okay, so we're going to go back outside for just a moment and then we'll scope down. Thank you very much.
If you'd like, in about 5 minutes, she'll do an encounter for you. She'll bring some snakes up.
Oh, really? Where will she be?
In the big room, down the hall, make a left, and go into the big room. See real big windows, our viewing room.
Okay.
When they're, she brings some snakes out for you.
Okay, is it at a scheduled time?
Yeah, it's about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. I don't know if I can get a signal back there, guys, but let me go outside first and then I'll come back. Thank you. Oop. Yeah, I'd love to show you that snake exhibit, guys, but I don't know if we're going to get a good signal. Let me take you over here to the fountain, and then I'll scope down. This is the oh, look at all the turtles. Oh, these are yellow sliders, yellow belly sliders. Oh, look at this. Look at them. They're having so much fun. God, I wish the sun wasn't such an issue. Here. Look, look. Can you see them? Yes. Yeah, Blue Springs is beautiful. Manatees are probably still there. I did a scope from there about a month ago of the manatees. Do you live in the area? I didn't see the name because I got a little bit of sun glare. These are yellow-bellied sliders, and they are native to Florida. Boy, no? Okay. But Blue Springs, I love to scope from Blue Springs. Look at all of them on the log over there. Can you see them on the log? A little half sun and a half shade here, trying to minimize the glare on the screen. These guys are so cute. They're so cute. But the Discovery Center here is very popular with school groups during the school year. Oh yes, yeah, they still do rent out the cabins. Here's a couple right down below us. Hey, yeah, and these guys are fun. You'll see them everywhere. They're also out at Blue Springs. There are a lot of the springs. They are everywhere. There's also some red-eared sliders in here too. I haven't spotted any. Most of these, oh, that might be one right there, but most of these are yellow-bellied. A lot of school groups come out here. They learn a lot about the snakes and the reptiles and the venomous snakes. They do venom extractions. I talked a lot about that in the previous scope. They normally do them Thursday through Sundays, but they're not doing them today, where they extract the venom from the venomous snake's fangs, and then they produce it here. I think it's called Med Toxin is the company, and then they ship it all over the country. Oh, look, he's trying to come up on the rocks. Oh, he's trying to climb up. Here's some right below us. I won't be able to see your comments while I zoom in. And these guys are right in front of me. The anti-venom is used obviously for snake bites for humans and animals and dogs, but also it's used for research in medical research, specifically for neurological disorders. So it's important work that they're doing here at this facility, education and the anti-venom production. And this is my first visit here. There's the red-tipped right there. So, pretty cool place. If you didn't see the previous scope, it's pretty much captioned the same thing, Reptile Discovery Center, DeLand, Florida. We walked around the nature trail and we saw the gators and some other cool lizards and things. So if you want to watch that replay, it's still up there. I think I'm going to scope down. I don't think I'm going to... Oh, you're very welcome, man. I don't think I'm going to get a good enough signal inside here to watch that snake thing, but I may take pictures. You're very welcome. Sorry, I'm having a little difficulty with the glare on the names. I'll just leave you with this really cute sight. Look, this one's right by the sign. Right there. Can you see him? He's in the shade. Darn. Sun's always at a terrible angle. I'm about 8 to 10 miles Make that 10 to 12 miles from Blue Springs. Blue Springs is in Orange City. I'm in DeLand, so it's just down the road. Yes, there are several walking on the, look, there's some on the rocks. Turtles on the rocks. These guys are really having fun. And then there's a whole bunch. Let me see. Look, sun's going behind a cloud. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Are you doing it out here?
Well, you're the only one here today.
Oh,
so
thank you, because I can't get a signal. I'm trying to live stream this, and I can't get a signal. Do you mind being on?
Not at all.
Thank you. What is your name?
My name is Moira.
Hi, everyone. Say hi to Mara. Oh, we need to get you in another.
Oh, okay.
And the sun. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Probably in the shade would be a good spot.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, we're going to go from the Turtles guys to Mara.
Hi.
Mara works here at the Discovery Center, and she's doing the snake. They're saying hi, Mara. This is Ann. Ann lives in Massachusetts.
Hi, Ann. How are you?
Some others are coming in. It's kind of hard to see with the glare. But Ann's going to do that snake demonstration we were just hearing about a few minutes ago that I said I couldn't get a good signal, so we're outside. So I'll shut up and let Mara talk now.
Oh, I just brought this little snake out for you guys to hold. His name is Snoopy.
No.
Snoopy is a ball python. These guys are native to West Africa. They don't get very big, about 4.5 to 5 feet as a full-grown adult. So these guys are really popular in the pet trade, and they're now produced in literally thousands of different colors and patterns due to what we call selective genetics. So Snoopy is an example of that. He's what's called a piebald ball python. And piebaldism refers to that strange white coloration that you see in Snoopy's pattern. He's not shedding. He was born like this with all those white spots, and he'll stay like this his whole life.
Cool.
And it just means that those skin cells never produced any color pigment. So it's the same phenomenon you would see in a calico cat or a palomino pony.
But not as furry.
Not as furry, that's right. Snakes also smell and taste with their tongue. So a lot of times people will ask us what happens to you if that tongue touches you. Nothing, just tickles.
Okay.
And snake skin is keratin based, like your fingernails or your hair, so it's not slimy at all. It's really smooth and really clean, and I think it feels very pleasant. So if you want to, you're welcome to hold him. He's the gentlest soul.
I don't think I can hold
He
him.
never bites. You can pet him. You can. He's
Can
never
I
bitten
just-
anybody in his whole 9 years of life.
He is a pygmy. Now,
No, he's a ball python.
a python.
He's a python.
A python. But so there are breeds of pythons that are not venomous. Or was his?
No
he been?
pythons are venomous.
I thought I saw. Oh,
No
guess
pythons
I wasn't
are
reading the signs, guys.
Pythons are part of a group called constrictors, and so they kill their prey by constricting it or asphyxiation. Venomous snakes kill their prey with the venom. that
Oh,
they
I
have. So
see
it's
it.
just a different hunting method.
I see. Now I understand. Someone's saying that a virtual petting of the snake is better than a physical one. I may pet him, but I don't want to put down the camera, and I can't hold him. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
It's okay.
I'm
He's a gentle soul. He doesn't mind.
Really? So he's normally the one you bring out
Yeah.
for
Twice a day,
demonstrations?
4 days a week.
Look, guys.
He's done this since he was a tiny little thing. For
Really?
almost 7 years now he's been doing this.
So he was born here.
He's born and raised here, yeah.
Someone's asking, is the white marking rare in the python?
In the wild, it is more rare than you would think, but it does happen. So here in Florida, we have piebald deer, and in Texas, they just found a piebald blacktip reef shark.
Oh,
So they do
really?
exist in the wild. In the pet trade, they're fairly common still. So what happened was that with this snake, back in I think it was the 80s, maybe it was the 70s, but they found there was these farms in Africa that farm ball pythons, and they found just one like this in one of the farms.
Oh.
And the guy bought it for $100,000, betting
God.
on the fact that it was a genetic trait, and it is.
Oh, really?
And so that's how they came into the pet trade. Now they're pretty common and relatively cheap. You can buy them for about $500 now.
So people have these for pets.
Oh, very much.
You have to have one of those licenses for exotic pets here?
No, for
No?
ball python, for some animals you do, but for ball pythons, because they don't get very big and they're not considered dangerous to people, then you don't need a license to own them through
Okay.
Florida Fish and Game. Some pythons you do, so the bigger ones, Burmese pythons you do, anacondas, you do.
Right. Like the guy down in Orlando, he was in the news for the longest time because his python escaped.
Oh, that was a king cobra.
That was a cobra. See,
So
I don't know
yes,
my
you
snakes.
also do need a permit to own those.
I think they revoked his permit. That's the last I heard.
Haven't heard.
Oh, he is pretty, guys, and he's not slimy. Moira's right. He's not slimy. I don't know how.
Gentle soul.
I don't know how to describe it. Leather.
It kind of feels like fingernails.
Yeah, it's not soft and mushy. It's not slimy. Leathery. Do they molt or lose their?
Yes, yeah. So once about every 3 or 4 months, depending on this time of year, so how much they're eating, depends on how much they're growing. So, but usually about once every 3 to 4 months is how often that they shed their skin.
Ah, okay. Okay. And let me get this straight about the snakes that are inside.
Sure.
Thank you for answering questions.
Oh, of course.
I
I'm
really
happy to.
appreciate that.
Happy to.
That often, someone's saying, oh, they molt and lose that often every 3 to 4 months.
Yes.
Yes, Ann. They will always be here. And were they turned in, these snakes? Where did they come from? A lot, particularly the
we get our animals from a lot of places. The animals on exhibit get rotated out about every 6 months so that they can be on the venom line, and then it's not.
Okay.
They're not constantly seeing people. They can relax a little bit.
Okay, because it can be stressful.
We get our animals from a bunch of different places, so most of them are born and raised here.
Okay.
Some of them do come from zoos. So zoos sometimes breed their animals and they have a surplus of animals and then they offer them out to other zoos. So that's how we get some of them. Some of them come from reptile dealers in South Florida. A lot of them, like all of our coral snakes and a good third of our eastern diamondback line, are nuisance removals from animal control. So people see them in their yard.
Yes.
Instead of killing them, they're kind enough to call animal control, and animal control brings them to us.
Okay.
And then some of them are surrenders, like the big pythons that you saw, that big yellow python that you saw on exhibit.
Yes.
He was a surrender. So people, I can't take care of this anymore. Will you please take care of it? Almost all of our turtles are surrenders.
I get it. Someone's saying both you and the snake are very pretty.
Oh, thank you.
And there was a question earlier about how long, I'm assuming this snake lives, this particular breed of
Snakes in
snake.
captivity, usually about 25 to 40 years is
Wow,
average.
in captivity.
In captivity. In the wild, it's much less than that, we think.
That makes
But
sense.
a lot of longevity studies aren't completely firmed up yet. So it's really just, in the wild, they don't know for sure how long they live, but in captivity, pythons usually get a little bit older, so sometimes into their 40s.
Oh, wow. Okay. We have another question. Yes, go ahead. I can't see the name. Go ahead, Matt. While we're waiting for that question, I was in my neighborhood. I live near a lake. Are the shed skins used for anything?
Actually, there's a company now called Eden Bio Creations that is making, everything that they used to make out of the animal skins. So they used to make all those belts and wallets and knife things and cell phone covers out of, they would kill the animal and then make it out of their skin. But now, this company, Eden Bio Creations, is doing it just from the sheds.
Oh, really?
So you don't have to kill the animal anymore.
Thank goodness. There was another question from Matt about he found a coral snake in his pool. He said, if I would have gotten bit, how deadly are they, and what should he have done with the coral snake that he found in his pool?
Well, that's all the good questions, Matt.
Good question, Matt.
Coral snakes are wickedly toxic. About 5 milligrams is a lethal dose. So 5 grains of salt, if that's helpful. So almost right up there with black mambas and taipans, and they're extremely toxic animals. But coral snakes are very, very innocuous and really don't want to bite at all, almost ever.
So they're afraid of people?
Terrified.
Oh,
I mean, they're
really?
very large to a coral snake, and if they can have any other option besides biting you, they'll take it. So if they can run away, they're happy to take that. Most snakes are like that, but coral snakes are especially like that.
He said, so it was pretty dumb that I caught it, and my dad wouldn't let me kill it. I released it at the beach.
That's perfect.
That's perfect, Matt.
That's perfect. If you can re-release them, they're happy. So that was a perfect thing to do.
Okay. I had a neighbor who came out with a pistol, and he shot an eastern rattlesnake. Was that a cool thing to do?
I don't really like that story.
I actually thought it was quite stupid because he missed several times with the pistol, and I thought they were good for the ecosystem. They play an important role in the ecosystem.
They are. It's a balance. So everything's there for a reason, and they keep the rodent populations in check. They keep bird populations in check.
Okay.
So I think, and a lot of times, if you're shooting at a rattlesnake, sometimes you miss, sometimes you hit yourself or another person, and then snakes don't. So then sometimes you hit the snake and you think it's dead, and then somebody picks it up and it's not.
It's wounded,
or they
though,
can
possibly.
still bite about maybe 30 seconds to 2 minutes after they're dead. So they go to pick them up and they get bitten by the rattlesnake anyway.
Oh my God.
So sometimes I just think it's better. Rattlesnakes will not attack you. They're not aggressive. They're just shy and defensive. So if you were to just leave that animal alone, he would be more than happy to leave you alone.
If you're going to shoot one, use a shotgun.
I mean, I
no,
can't
Matt.
stop you.
No. Well, we do have a law.
It's your lawn.
There's some sort of a new ordinance, I thought, here in Volusia County where you can't discharge firearms in a residential area anymore.
I don't know.
That was just passed, so this was several years ago. He did miss. Oh, look at this, guys, Moira. Oh my God, I'm sorry I don't have the nerve to do this.
It's okay. A lot of people don't. I've just grown up around them my whole life. So
He is a sweetie, though.
It's an unusual level of comfort, that's all.
Oh, and he enjoys it?
He tolerates it.
He tolerates it?
okay. Yeah.
So I take it, unlike the coral snakes and the rattlesnakes, the pythons aren't afraid of people, or is it because he's been in captivity?
So pythons are just, in the wild, are just as frightened of people as all other snakes. We're giant to them.
Oh yeah. Look at him, guys.
He's just been handled so much
that he's used to it.
He's used to this, yes.
Okay. Wow. Does anyone else have any other questions for Moira? So we got another visitor coming in. I've been the only one here all morning, so I've gotten like one-on-one. Just in time for the snake demo. Let's see if he'll volunteer.
Hey, you got a snake on your neck.
Yeah, so our director is at a venom conference this week, so we don't have venom programs yesterday or today. But I just bring out an animal just in case somebody wants to hold. And admission's $8 all day because of...
Is there any animals in here I can look at?
Yeah, so if you go on inside,
Yeah.
it's $8, and we have an indoor exhibit, and there's about 35 species indoors, and then we have an outdoor trail outside.
Look at
You
the
go all the way
turtles.
to the end of the
We've got
parking
shade
lot.
again.
There's alligators and iguanas and big pythons and tortoises.
The big parking lot over here?
No, keep going all the way to the end of the
Oh,
parking
let
lot.
me ask
Keep
Ann.
following those yellow posts
Let me
all
ask.
the way to the
She's
end.
directing
okay.
this guy to the
Just to
trail.
right, you'll see the entrance.
Okay, so it's $8. And that's
Yep,
and
right
there's
in
something in here I'll be able to look at
Yep.
too? Let me see that snake.
You can
Oh.
hold it if you'd
No,
like.
that's all right.
Oh,
What
see,
kind
I'm not the only one, guys.
What is that, a python?
He's okay to
Yes, sir.
pet,
He's
though.
a piebald ball python.
Look.
His name is Snoopy.
Yeah.
He's a
Oh,
gentle
I've
soul.
actually held him because my niece had him.
Your niece has him?
So I had to watch him for a week.
You're a good uncle.
Someone asked when they shed or molt their skin, does the pattern that we're looking at here, is it still revealed underneath, or does it have to grow back?
No, he stays the same, and he's been like this since he was born, and he'll be like this till the day he dies. Shedding
He's
her hair.
beautiful. He's beautiful. The person who asked the directions, I'll give you that in just a second. I didn't want to tie up any more Moira's
Oh,
time.
that's all right. That's
It's
what
okay.
I'm getting paid for. Take
Yeah.
your time.
Oh, well, we're off of Highway 92, which is International Speedway Boulevard, but we're west of Daytona in DeLand. And there's a couple ways to come down here, but if you Google map it, it'll probably have you come down 95 to Interstate 4. and maybe get off at State Road 44. But in terms of miles, I don't know where you are in Jacksonville per se, but it's probably no more than about a 2-hour drive.
I would wait until we have a venom program.
Ah, like as in next week?
Oh, no, we'll start again as usual tomorrow.
Oh, Jacksonville Beach. Yeah, you got a ways to come then, because you got to come from the beach. So it might be a little more than 2 hours, but the venom extraction's on hold right
Just until
now.
tomorrow, and then we'll have them at 11:30 and 3 o'clock tomorrow, and that's really would be worth your drive.
Yeah, I was thinking of coming back on Sunday because I'm just down the road.
Sunday also we'll have one at 11:30.
Someone said gorgeous snake. Yes.
Oh, I know, he's a love.
And
He's
what
a
was
good
his name
ambassador.
again?
His name is Snoopy.
Why do I keep forgetting names? This is Snoopy, guys. We just had a few more people join in, so
Good.
they're just seeing the snake. Snoopy is very lovable, as lovable as a snake can be, and non-venomous. And he was, yes, I will, Anne. Thank you, Roll the Barrel. Anne from Massachusetts is saying thank you, Moira, for all the great information.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Absolutely. I did not expect this.
Oh, I'm so glad you came.
Couldn't get a signal inside. We were having some signal problems.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of, the metal roof, I think, kind of kills it.
That might have been it. We were in and out. So when the gentleman up front mentioned the thing, I said, I don't know if I can do it here, live streaming, but Moira and Snoopy came to us. That's the benefit of being the only person here.
Yeah.
Any other questions, guys? Yeah, I should pet one more time. Look at that, he's all coiled up. Do you ever do demonstrations with any of the other snakes? Or is he pretty much the
No, we do. So usually we have a big encounter and we bring out an albino ball python and Snoopy.
Oh.
And then we have an eastern chain king snake named Shackles, and he comes out. And then we have an eastern indigo snake named Timopon, and she comes out.
Oh,
So we have
okay.
about 4 animal encounter animals.
Okay. Someone was saying he's very active. Is that because he's outside, or is that the way?
Oh yeah, I think it's just because he's curious and I'm moving, so he's moving.
And he sees the camera in his face. And to answer the question, no, they do not bite. Maura mentioned that earlier, before you join the scope, that this particular snake does not bite.
He's a gentle soul.
He's a very gentle soul. And when I touched him, he sort of felt like soft leather, and he's not slimy at all or scaly. Here's a close-up. Does he constrict?
Yes.
He does.
Yes, he's a constrictor.
He is definitely a constrictor. So when you feed him, that's how he kills his food, or is it already dead?
Food for us in the wild, yes, that's how he kills his food.
Okay.
But for us, we do frozen. We have rodents come to us by the thousands, and then we just defrost what we need.
Okay.
And so it's already dead when it comes into him. We think it's safer for the animals, for both the snake and then the rodent. It's probably a much
More humane, if there's even
more
such
humane,
a word.
Yeah. So they kill the rodents by carbon dioxide, and it's very quick, which is probably much less painful than asphyxiation.
Now on the venom extraction, I looked at the pictures on your website, and that's not painful at all for the snake to have
No,
that procedure
no.
done?
We don't hurt them at all. They're incredibly valuable to us, as you can imagine. And
Yes.
also, Carl and I have been in love with these creatures since we've been little kids. So
Oh my gosh.
we do our very, very, very best to take care of them. They don't particularly like it. It's frightening.
Oh, sure.
And it's kind of like they're being restrained and they'd rather not be. So it's not painful. It's just kind of like if someone were to be holding you and you didn't want to be held.
And you didn't know how long you were going to be held.
You didn't know how long you were going to be
When
held.
you were going
So
to be
they're
let
ju-
go.
They just don't like it. But we're not hurting them in the slightest.
How long are they on the venom line?
They're
Usually.
on from, it's usually a size thing, so from the time that they're 18 inches, if they get bigger than that, coral snakes only as adults.
Okay.
But like the rattlesnakes start when they're about 18 inches, and then they go until Carl and I, it's just kind of an individual executive decision that we decide it's time for them to retire and just live out their life. And they don't
Stress-free.
have to work anymore. Yeah.
Do they conserve rare breeds here? I guess the question has to do with the
Want to do you're asking
Yes.
about conservation stuff?
yes, of rare breeds.
We don't. We don't do a ton of conservation work, I guess is the answer to that. Our main focus here is a venom laboratory,
Right.
and we produce venom for the antivenom projects in North America. So we're a commercial venom production facility. Most of the conservation is happening in zoos.
Okay.
So, for instance, the Central Florida Zoo, the Sanford Zoo, has a big facility down in Euclid called Project Oriane, and they're working with the indigo snake. They're indigo snake conservation. So they have hundreds of indigo snakes and are working on soft releases in Alabama and Georgia and northern Florida.
Oh, very cool. I did not know that.
So most of the conservation work is happening in zoos. But though we have a little zoo, our main focus is the venom laboratory and procuring venom for medical research.
Right. Are there any questions about the outdoor exhibits for any of you? I did 2 separate live streams.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now we're being asked, so what do you use the venom for?
Okay.
Good
I
question.
can answer that in
Good
a
question.
a little bit. So our main projects right now, the coral snake venom is going to the antivenom project. Pfizer is coming out with a new coral snake antivenom for people.
Okay.
The copperhead venom is going to a European company that is using it in a diagnostic test. So it can be used to do a certain, all they're telling us is that they're using it in diagnostics. They won't tell us much more than that, which is kind of typical for researchers. They're very guarded with their research. The cottonmouth venom and the eastern diamondback venom are also going to the antivenom projects here in North America. The western diamondback venom is going to a veterinary project in California. And then our cobra antivenom, the cobra venom is doing a lot of funny things right now. So cobra venom, there's an aspect of cobra venom that inhibits a virus's ability to enter the cell. So a virus needs a cell, and it enters the cell and fools the cell into making more virus.
Oh, really?
And if there's something in cobra venom that inhibits that process, so they are looking, and it's, as you can imagine, the implications for that are vast.
Yes.
Dengue fever, Ebola, HIV. So there's a company in South Florida looking at a veterinary application for that first, and then hopefully eventually into clinical trials for adults.
For humans, for
humans.
animal, for humans,
For
and
humans. Mm-hmm.
but the research is actually being conducted at a veterinary.
At the veterinary level, because it's easier on some levels to get a veterinary drug passed than it is to get a human drug passed through the FDA.
Oh, I
There's
see.
also things in copperhead venom that inhibits cellular adhesion. So a lot of times in cancers, what will happen is that cancer cells will stick themselves to other cells and move in your body.
Right.
And something in a protein in copperhead venom inhibits that from happening. And it also stops tumor growth. So there's
I've
research
heard
in
that.
too.
About 6 or 7 years ago, it was big in the news about using it against brain cancers because there's been so little progress in fighting brain tumors, and that there was this big breakthrough with the venom, but I haven't really heard that much about it lately.
No, research has been in the research phase since, so there was a man at USC, and he patented that protein in copperhead venom for cancer research in the 70s. And he's getting ready to retire, and it's still in the research
Still
phase.
in the research. That's, they haven't made much progress there. It's a stubborn cancer. Someone was asking if you can artificially replicate the venom.
That is a great question.
Yes, it is.
And I imagine they've been trying to do synthetics for years now. And in some instances, they've been successful. So there's a drug called Integralin, and it's a post-heart attack medication, and it is modeled after a protein in our own pygmy rattlesnake venom.
Is that right?
And they used to be using the natural product from our pygmies here at this lab and a couple others. And the man said to us, if I had all of the pygmies in the world, I wouldn't have enough pygmy venom for this drug. So that says to us, he's trying desperately to make it synthetically. And he did successfully. So now that drug is made synthetically, but in the insert you can still see this drug is modeled after a protein in our dusky pygmy rattlesnake.
Oh, okay.
But as far as the others go, they've been trying for a long time, and for whatever reason it doesn't work. So it doesn't build the same antibody response that the natural stuff does. And it doesn't, and synthetic antivenoms don't bind to the antigen the same way that naturals do.
But
Does
I
that
would
make sense?
think it does. It does. But I would think that there are other facilities like yours, and you have such an aggressive extraction program going on. Why would there be a need for the synthetic?
Because it's probably, so there are 6 of us in this country, and there are 30 of us worldwide. So,
That's
and that's
all.
because the market
Okay.
is so tiny for
Okay.
snake venom at this point that you have to be tied to a commercial application like the Antivenom Project for us to float. I think the reason they want to do it synthetically is it's probably cleaner, it's probably cheaper, and it's probably more reliable for them than to have all of these little outposts.
Oh,
if they
I
can just make
see.
it themselves.
I get it.
That's my guess.
And there are so many species. Yes. Well, I'm getting a low battery message, guys. I don't want to abruptly cut off. We want to say our proper goodbyes and thank yous to Moira.
Thank you guys.
Very much. I
Thank you for
appreciate your
coming.
time very much. Good questions, guys. And please go back and watch the replay. If you came in late in this scope, some pretty amazing information here from Moira. Well, thank you, Ann. And also the replay from the earlier scope. I walked the nature trail. I'm just going to quickly pan out there. I was out yonder. There's lizards and gators. The gators were awesome. They were right there on full display.
Oh, yeah.
It-
Getting a nice little sunshine.
They were getting their
That's
sun,
sunshine.
soaking it up, but I couldn't get some of the pythons, but we got a good look inside.
Oh.
So I'm going to scope down, guys. I hope everyone has a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend if I don't see you in scope land. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. They're saying bye.
Bye.
And thank you to
guys.
Moira.
Thanks.
Later, gators.